Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of Pop Culture and Hobby Shops of the Metro. I am here in the downtown Omaha area and the old market, visiting a nice little thrift shop that caters to pop culture, from Star Wars to X-Men, Transformers, you name it, they probably have it. So let's take a look to see what's inside. My name is Wesley Weeks. Join me as we visit a variety of pop culture and hobby shops that can be found in the Omaha area that will spark your interest and inner child as we look at the world of plastic models, video games, comic books, trading cards, and beyond. Sit back as we discover pop culture and hobby shops of the Metro. Hello everyone, we are inside the Imaginarium, and the first thing we can see is Lunchbox. What's more fun with dealing with pop culture is when you can take what you like to school. So let's see what kind of stuff that they got. Okay, this is bringing a blast from the past for me is Captain Planet. This was such a wonderful cartoon about being aware of pollution and to stop it, and it was a very good show. So let's see what other kinds of fun little things are on here. We got some that are a little bit beyond my time, which is GoBots. I believe this came out in the 80s. So yeah, they have so many other things. There's even a Pee-wee doll. That's a little creepy for me. But we got all sorts of other stuff here, so it's already showing really cool with pop culture already, for at least in the retro aspects. Let's kind of take a little walk and see what else we kind of got in here. As you can see, there is a whole bunch of different aisles packed full of different things. I'm seeing a giant group, and I think that thing for over there next to it, near the little disco ball thing, is a gremlin, I believe. Yeah, next to a cute little version of the little gremlin. So yeah, so we got even the movie fanatics here for pop culture. And there's a whole bunch of other things that I've already kind of seen around. Without further ado, let us sit down with James real quick, and he can give us a little bit more in-depth of what to expect here at the Imaginarium.
Hi, I'm James Cavan, and I own the Imaginarium Mercantile here in the Old Market.
So, first off, what made you actually want to actually start up a business like this?
Well, the long, short, long, however you say it, story is I actually fell into it. I had a booth in an antique mall when I was 16 years old, and when in 2010, actually 2009, I was a satellite installer. I actually got electrocuted and fell and broke my back. I crushed a vertebrae, tore a couple of discs, was no longer able to do that after about a year and a half of being a shop boy. Basically, they cut me loose. It was 2010, the economy was pretty bad. So I was like, you know what? I love antiques and collectibles, but I know most people like that stuff, but they like and love to buy toys, collectibles, things like that. So I knew I could do it a little bit different. So yeah, I decided that, you know what, I'm going to try this out. I had a small settlement, about $22,000, which in hindsight was nowhere near enough money. But I thought, you know what, let's try it. And so I found a spot right there on the corner of 13th and Howard, and I signed a 5-year lease for a lot of money, and thought, you know what, we'll figure it out as we go. And I just thought I really enjoy toys and collectibles and presenting the kind of fun and unique things to people, so I found a way to do it.
For my next question is, what objectives do you have for like running this type of business? It's like, what do you expect for this to have with pop culture?
We've always said, like, people are like, what's your mission statement? You know, and you go, well, realistically, it's not really a really great one, but I like it, and it encompasses everything we are trying to accomplish, which is we want to have cool stuff for cool people. So we just want to have the coolest stuff, which for most of us is connected to pop culture. the things that are in, around us every day, and things that we like, things that, whether it's a sound bite or when I started the store, we didn't really have memes. Now there's memes and all these different things, but pop culture ingrains every part of our life, and so this is a way for you to come down and experience pop culture, collectibles, and toys.
Yeah, so that basically leads into like what exactly for like pop culture does your store have? Because as I was walking around earlier, I saw you have a little bit of everything and everything. I've noticed you have Transformers, Star Wars. Some of those items I would have loved to buy if they had their cockpit canopies.
Yeah, some of the complete stuff is hard to get. So, as a rule, we're kind of trying to, we really want to get one of each. I jokingly say that, but really just a little bit of everything. As you enter the store, we have a vintage toys section, which for a lot of people, that's pop culture, but to a younger person, it's not pop culture, which is a weird crux in the whole pop culture thing is, if you're 18, pop culture is a lot different than if you're 43. So it definitely makes it unique. So we have to cover all age groups because down here in the market, you get families, you get all kinds of different groups. So you literally have everybody from child all the way to grandpa, grandma, sometimes great grandma, great grandpa. We don't cover all that pop culture because, that gets a little tough. But we have like Popeye, so that covers, all the way back into the 30s and 40s.
Possible tea sets and stuff like that.
Yeah, stuff like that can go back. Well, yeah, definitely so you walk in and then we have a Marvel section, DC. We have it broken down we have our Star Wars and He-Man. We, sitting in front of here, the G.I. Joe section. We have WWE, Power Rangers, Barbie, Disney, Funko Pops. We even capture things. The Office is a great seller for us, and anime is a more recent thing that we started to carry, but that's definitely part of pop culture now. Horror, we have a horror section that's part of pop culture. So we try to have a little glimpse into everybody's pop culture and all the different things, even Hot Wheels. And another part of pop culture is honestly mystery boxes. We sell thousands of dollars every month in mystery boxes, and that's part of pop culture. Now, that's again more of an under 40 thing, because most over 40 are like, what? You want me to buy a box full of crap that I don't know what's in there? But if you're 18 to 25, you're like, take my money, please. Kind of a thing.
Yeah.
So even that is a reflection of pop culture. Like, reality is you're putting a bunch of mystery stuff in a box. We always give good value on those. We always put more than what you're paying for it. But that's another way that we actually play on pop culture and sell at the store.
So that since we're always talking about pop culture, especially on the show, it's everything about pop culture. So I have to kind of ask you a question. It's like, what do you consider pop culture for your generation?
Well, so again, yeah, generation is, so I'm 43, born in 1978. So like one of my earliest pop culture memories would be like Reese's Pieces from E.T. He followed the Reese's Pieces. She got him into the house by, doing the Reese's Pieces. That was one of the first using advertising, and then it became literally part of pop culture. Like Reese's Pieces are still at movie theaters today. I mean, like most people never buy Reese's Pieces, but when you're in the movie theater, you're like, oh yeah, I gotta get. That's one of my early pop culture memories. But everything from Sesame Street, to Star Wars is obviously like. I mean, I wasn't born when the first one was released, but that was my whole childhood. Star Wars was all over.
Oh yeah.
Transformers is another huge one. I love Transformers. I'm still angry at Rodimus Prime for getting Optimus killed in the cartoon movie. That was devastating for me.
Yeah.
But that's definitely pop culture. Obviously, it's really just a shortening of popular culture. But pop culture is those things that every day. One of the weird things is now with video and audio everywhere. Pop culture is attached to sounds and to video, people doing something as simple as emotional damage or something like that. If you've ever touched TikTok, you know emotional damage. That because it's just, and the feeling and the settings in that. So now 43 TikTok it's about half and half. Some do it, some don't. We just signed my wife up the other day, and she was half of it. She's like, what is happening here? I don't understand this. because she's not connected to that part of popular culture or pop culture. So.
Yeah, I just don't dabble too far into that social media aspect within that type of pop culture.
Yeah.
Even I'm still trying to figure out, what am I watching?
Yeah.
How is this person getting so many views for something so silly? But it is very unique when it comes to pop culture, because it's not just things that are considered like old or retro in some cases, and like Super Mario could be considered pop
definitely.
culture, and like there's kids that are still playing Mario, so there's certain pop culture that just kept going with parent to child, and it just kept going in. I'm a 90s kid personally, for me, so I still remember those lollipop commercials with the how many licks does it take to get to the center of Tootsie Pop. Yeah, that dang owl. It just fits within that pop culture of like, what is the now?
Exactly.
Because I've even noticed even that some like Hot Topic down in the mall, I'm like, I hardly ever saw anything anime, and in the last maybe 5-6 years, there's nothing but anime in there.
Even Walmart itself has started carrying anime, and you go, Walmart and anime, I mean, like that, but they start carrying T-shirts and even some toys, and yeah, it's become intertwined into our popular culture.
And the one of the bigger ones that I've seen on the uprise is Gundam model kits.
Yeah.
A lot of the earlier models, a lot of those people are like about my dad's age, which are they're in their 60s and 70s. Those are the ones that were building model cars, tanks, military airplanes. Not a lot of kids are into making military models anymore. But when you got a robot where you can easily slap the dang thing together in less than maybe an hour,
Yep.
put the stickers on and call it good, where there's no painting whatsoever, there's instant gratification with a minimal amount of work.
Yes.
That tailors to a lot of new kids that are wanting to start up a new hobby, because that also counts into pop culture. Is like, models are very expensive,
Yeah.
and now that you have some models that are not too expensive, easy to build, they've just skyrocketed in popularity.
Yeah.
To the point where even model competitions are actually allowing these models in the competitions. No, they have always been, but they have their own special category for it, and these things can get elaborate.
Yeah, and because you can get a Gundam model for $12 and you can spend hundreds of dollars. So it's funny how pop culture can intertwine in different areas. Like, models, used to be a huge thing. 50s, 60s. Even when I was a kid, I remember putting them. I hated it. I have to be honest. Sorry, Dad. We put a U-boat together. For it's a whatever 175 or whatever. It was excruciating experience for me. But they find new ways to capture it in. Gundam's a great example, of doing that, and again, you talk about your attention span, like fidget spinners. That's become part of pop culture. Now it's poppets, and then it's squishies and mochis and all those funny little weird things that,
It gets very complicated when you start trying to keep up with it. It's just let it happen.
Yeah.
When it comes to pop culture, don't try to figure it out. Just let it happen. Learn as you go, and just move on.
100%. Yeah. No, pop culture is a weird thing because something can explode literally overnight. It can go. Now with video and things like that, you can go viral, and all of a sudden, 2 weeks ago nobody even knew. Now you're hearing somebody in a small city in western Nebraska say, because it's literally been dispensed throughout the whole nation.
Like a wildfire.
In a week. I mean, you can. And then you get into, of course, cancel culture and all that, and somebody can be popular, and then all of a sudden, a week later, they're the worst thing ever. Everybody worshipped them a week ago, but now they're the worst because they said something that, people, and I'm not gonna, we don't want to get political, but people can say something, and then all of a sudden, next thing you know, it gets all kinds of weird. So.
A good example would be like when the Beatles invasion. The British invasion with the Beatles, there was probably a good amount of counterculture there with them, bringing rock and roll, because you had like Elvis that was playing black music, and a lot of people didn't like that at the time.
Yeah.
And then you have the Beatles coming in, and then it's like all rainbows and sunshine when the Beatles are singing it. And I'm like, that's kind of interesting.
Yeah.
But people were following the times.
Yeah.
It's stuff in England were very popular back in the 50s and 60s. And so when they came to the United States, everyone's joining on the bandwagon.
Yeah. No, 100%.
One of the final questions I want to ask is basically, what in the store is one of your favorite things?
So I get this question, what is your favorite thing in the store? And it's really tough because we've had so many amazing things, and then of course people are like, what's the most expensive, what's this, and usually not the most expensive is one of my favorites. Although in this case right now, one of the things we have is we actually have a wall picture that's about just a couple inches deep, and it's Warner Brothers. It's it's Bugs Bunny and Elmer Fudd. And it's one of the words, he goes, quiet, I'm hunting rabbits. And you push a button on the side, and he takes the picture and he walks over and it plays the words, and then Bugs comes up and it does this thing. It's just a really neat piece because, for me, Warner Brothers, watching the Looney Tunes on TV, that was a huge thing. I remember their head coming up in the middle of those circles and being part of that. So that's just a fun, neat piece. We have a couple of really neat things. We have a life-size Gremlin in here, a life-size Pennywise. So those are kind of cool things. So just things that that's kind of what I've gotten into more lately is some of the bigger life-size type stuff. Just because I don't actually have a huge collection at home. I know that's the cat out of the bag. I have a few things, but not. I don't have a giant collection. This is my collection, and I'm okay owning it for a little while and then letting it go. So it's really fun to me to get these kind of life-size, kind of fun things and let other people enjoy them, and then eventually they take them home with them.
Thank you so much again for sitting down. I hope everyone enjoyed this lovely interview with James here. Before we go, James has offered to one of his employees as the sacrificial lamb to give us a tour of his shop. But before we get to that, I have a question for you guys.
Hi, I'm James Cavan. I own the Imaginarium here in the Old Market. Got a question for you. What is the first action figure?
Mariah, and I'm just going to be kind of showing you around the Imaginarium today. We have one of our more popular sections, which is going to be Marvel. We kind of have all of our cooler things up top. We have the more interesting things, some of our older pieces, the more retro stuff. I feel like that's what generally piques people's interest. Right, and then right down in here, we've got DC. Coming on over here, there's some more Marvel. We get a lot of asks about this section, Masters of the Universe. A lot of people really like this. It's kind of from their childhood. A lot of people feel nostalgia when they see these things. Got some more over here. Star Wars, I gotta say, this is probably what we have the most of. We definitely get a lot of people interested in these things. It's one of our big sellers. We've got lots of our cooler stuff in here. Our Ninja Turtles. It's a little smaller, but another one that a lot of people really enjoy because of the nostalgia of it all. Star Wars section, number 2. Just an absolute ton of action figures. WWE. Not one of my favorites, but people like it. And G.I. Joes. People love these. I love when people kind of can tell me a story about when they had these things in their childhood, which this is one that's a little closer to my generation, our Power Rangers. Transformers, another big one. We have some of our cooler things over here. Some of our higher price ticket items are going to be up on a higher shelf again. Video game sections over here. Clothing section, this one we've got a lot of vintage clothing from our coworker Jerry. She's wonderful. I feel like she really gravitates towards like older silhouettes. And oh my God, we have this huge Hot Wheels section. More Hot Wheels than I think anyone would want to count. This is another big seller. A lot of people like these. All right, coming on in this way. We've got more Hot Wheels. This is what we like to call our man cave section. We have our mystery box section, which our employees put a lot of work into. We make all of these boxes. We've got Funko section over here, which this is one that I am department manager of. And we recently received a bunch of Funkos. So they just got put in this lovely order. They were completely disorganized before. And then this is another one that people really, really love. And I saved it for last because I think this is probably one of our coolest sections. This is, we call it the jungle room. But most of the things in here are from Nepal. They're authentic pieces that we came upon by pure luck. James found them. He got a ridiculous amount. This is probably half of what we had before. Our anime section, I guess, a few smaller things, maybe less popular. We come through here. Oh, I almost forgot about our horror, so I didn't save that one for very last, but horror section is another very popular one. We can't really see him right now, but we have a Pennywise statue. It's like 6 foot standing out there. All right, so we're back up front now, and I'm just gonna kinda go through some of our case items. So this is gonna be all of the more expensive things that we couldn't put in our Transformers section just because they are either breakable or just too expensive to have out on the floor. So our Legos. I gotta say, we don't have anything too exciting going on in here right now. Yeah, this is dwindling. Hopefully we get some more Lego stuff in soon. We've got our Pokemon cases. I really like our tech decks. I think they're super cool. We get a lot of comments about those. All right, and that is gonna be the end of this tour. I think those are all the cooler parts of the Imaginarium.
You guys enjoyed the Imaginarium as much as I did. Thank you again, James. When I was looking around, I found a little box in here.
We have a few of those.
I kind of see it. I feel like Mario. I'm wondering what's going to pop out of here. But it does say anime on here, so I doubt it's going to be Mario.
Well, I just hope there's anime in there. Otherwise, somebody's going to get fired.
Yeah, I hope so too. Let's take a look to see what's inside. Alrighty. Ooh, there's actually a couple things in here. So, let's see what we got. I got Sasuke. I wanted Hinata. But there's also something else in here. Ooh, that's cute. I have no idea who she's from, but she's cute. And there's a whole bunch of other little stuff in here. You got some stickers. You got a pin in here. Oh, I think this is from a dating sim game. And you do have Tokyo Ghoul. More Tokyo Ghoul. They got this whole thing. It's more Tokyo Ghoul. Okay. And okay, we can end with Sailor Moon.
Very nice.
All right, thank you again, guys, so
pleasure.
much for showing us around the shop. I hope to see you guys in the next episode. Thank you, everyone, again for joining us here at Pop Culture and Hobby Shops of the Metro. It was a fabulous time here at the Imaginarium in the Old Market area. I managed to find so many cool things with the help of James and his staff. I have two little things in my pocket for like little keychains from a anime series Macross, and another little pin of darkness from Konosuba. Speaking of Macross, I also found a robot figure of one of the Macross aircraft. And also, I managed to find this cool looking robot. I have no idea what series this is from, but it's going to add to my robot collection. So, I am Wesley Weeks, and this has been Pop Culture and Hobby Shops of the Metro. I can't wait to see you in the next episode.